Did you know most cars that hit 100,000 miles are already on the edge of catastrophic failure? Not because of mileage, but because of hidden maintenance nobody told you about? Here's the shocking truth. Skipping just one overlooked service at 100,000 can trigger a domino effect that costs $3,000 to $7,000 in repairs within the next 12 months. Most drivers think, I change my oil, I'm fine. Wrong. Your car's real survival test begins at 100,000 miles. Manufacturers design vehicles to last past the warranty, not forever. And dealerships know that. That's why mechanics quietly perform extra maintenance steps on their own cars that they'll never mention to you. In this video, I'll reveal 10 insider maintenance tricks mechanics use at the 100,000 mark to push their cars beyond 250,000 miles. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end, because the final trick is something almost no owner does, yet it can literally double your engine's lifespan. Trick number 1. Transmission fluid isn't lifetime. What most drivers believe. They hear sealed transmission or lifetime fluid and assume no service is needed. Why it's dangerous. By 100,000, fluid is oxidized, additives are depleted, and friction material contaminates the system. Neglect here is why transmission failure is one of the top killers of 100,000 plus cars. Expert insight. ZF, one of the world's largest transmission makers, recommends fluid and filter service every 60,000 miles, even on so-called lifetime fill transmissions. Mechanics who follow this see double the lifespan compared to neglect. Would you risk a $4,500 rebuild to save $200 on fluid? Trick number 2. Cooling system overhaul, not just coolant change. What drivers usually do wrong? They replace coolant, but ignore the thermostat, hoses, and water pump. Why it's dangerous. At 100,000, rubber hoses harden, thermostats stick, and water pumps begin leaking. Overheating is one of the fastest ways to destroy an engine. Warped heads, blown gaskets, cracked blocks. Expert insight. Toyota and Honda service bulletins recommend proactive cooling system inspection at 100,000. Veteran mechanics replace hoses, clamps, and thermostats with coolant service. And here's the surprising part. Trick number 3 shows how a $30 part most drivers ignore at 100,000 can silently starve your engine of oxygen. Trick number 3. Replace the mass airflow MAF sensor. What drivers usually do wrong? They never touch it. Some just spray it when idle gets rough. Why it's dangerous. By 100,000, MAF sensors drift out of calibration. They underreport airflow, causing lean mixtures that damage valves and pistons, or overreport, leading to carbon buildup and poor fuel economy. Expert insight. Mechanics often replace MAF sensors around 100,000 as preventative maintenance. Bosch and Denso, the largest OEM suppliers, recommend cleaning every 30,000 and replacement by 100,000 to 120,000 miles. Ever noticed your MPG drop around 100,000? Comment below. I bet your MAF is to blame. Trick number 4. Timing chain tensioners wear out too. What drivers usually do wrong? They assume timing chains last forever. Why it's dangerous. At 100,000 plus, tensioners and guides wear, leading to chain rattle, cam timing errors, and catastrophic interference engine failure. A broken chain equals a dead engine. Expert insight. General Motors and Nissan both issued bulletins on premature timing chain wear. Veteran mechanics inspect chain tensioners around 100K, long before drivers hear the rattle. A $200 tensioner today, or a $7,000 engine rebuild tomorrow. Easy math. Trick number 5. Brake fluid. Flush protects more than brakes. What drivers usually do wrong? They never replace brake fluid, thinking it lasts forever. Why it's dangerous. Brake fluid absorbs moisture over time. By 100,000, water contamination corrodes ABS modules, calipers, and even wheel speed sensors. ABS modules alone can cost $1,500 to $2,000. Expert insight. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, confirms brake fluid contamination is a leading cause of ABS failure. European manufacturers like BMW recommend flushing every 2 to 3 years. And trick number 6, coming up, may shock you. because it has nothing to do with fluids. It's about a hidden part under your hood that cracks silently and can wipe out your entire engine at 100,000 miles. Trick number 6, PCV system overhaul. What drivers usually do wrong. They forget the PCV valve even exists. Why it's dangerous. At 100,000, a clogged PCV valve increases crankcase pressure. This forces oil past gaskets and seals, leading to leaks, sludge buildup, and oil starvation. Oil starvation is one of the quickest ways to seize an engine. Expert insight. ASE certified mechanics recommend replacing the PCV valve every 30,000 to 50,000 miles. At 100,000, it's non-negotiable. Many pros also replace PCV hoses, which often crack and leak vacuum at this age. Do you want a $15 valve to become a $5,000 seized engine? Trick number 7, fuel system reset. What drivers usually do wrong. They never clean injectors or replace the fuel filter if their car still has one. Why it's dangerous. By 100,000, injectors clog and filters restrict flow. This causes lean misfires, detonation, and piston damage. Worse, a stressed fuel pump can burn out, costing $600 to $1,000. Expert insight. GM and Toyota bulletins recommend injector cleaning with OEM-approved solutions. Veteran mechanics prefer replacing inline filters at 100,000 if equipped, and performing a professional injector service. Ever noticed hesitation when accelerating at highway speeds? Comment below. It might be clogged injectors. Trick number 8, suspension and bushings refresh. What drivers usually do wrong. They only replace parts when they hear clunks. Why it's dangerous. At 100,000, rubber bushings, control arms, and ball joints are often worn. This affects alignment, which chews through tires and stresses steering racks. A neglected bushing can cause uneven tire wear that costs you $600 to $800 in premature replacements. Expert insight. Experienced technicians check bushings, struts, and shocks at 100,000, even if there's no noise. Replacing worn suspension not only improves safety, but restores fuel economy and handling. You're not just risking money. You're risking control of your car at highway speeds. Trick number 9, differential and transfer case fluids. What drivers usually do wrong. They think only the engine and transmission need fluid changes. Why it's dangerous. Differentials and transfer cases work under extreme pressure. At 100,000, their fluid is often contaminated with metal shavings. Neglect here causes bearing wear and gear pitting. Repairs run $1,200 to $3,000. Expert insight. Ford, Toyota, and Subaru recommend changing diff and transfer fluids every 30,000 to 60,000, especially on AWD or 4WD vehicles. Mechanics confirm this is one of the most overlooked but critical 100,000 services. And trick number 10 is the one almost nobody does at 100,000. Yet mechanics quietly do it on their own cars to keep engines alive well past 300,000. Trick number 10, engine carbon cleaning. What drivers usually do wrong? They think new spark plugs are enough. Why it's dangerous. By 100,000, direct injected engines build heavy carbon deposits on intake valves. This chokes airflow, reduces power, and can trigger misfires. In severe cases, it burns valves, requiring a costly cylinder head job. Expert insight. Audi, BMW, and Hyundai all have bulletins on intake valve cleaning, using walnut blasting or chemical services around 100,000. Veteran mechanics recommend it for all GDI gas direct injection engines. A $300 carbon clean today or a $3,500 head replacement tomorrow. Bonus trick, electrical grounds and connectors. Why it matters. At 100,000, corrosion builds up on ground straps and electrical connectors. The hidden danger. Poor grounds mimic random electrical problems. Misfires, ABS lights, transmission errors. Mechanics often see cars misdiagnosed with bad modules, when the real culprit was a corroded $10 ground strap. Expert insight. Longtime technicians always clean and retighten grounds at 100,000. It's a 30-minute job that prevents thousands in unnecessary electrical repairs. So here's what separates a 100K mile ticking time bomb from a 300K mile survivor. Change transmission fluid despite lifetime claims. Overhaul the cooling system. Refresh the MAF sensor and timing components. Flush brake fluid. Inspect PCV and reset the fuel system. Renew suspension, diffs, and transfer case. Clean carbon deposits before they kill your engine. And don't forget the small stuff: gaskets, O-rings, and grounds. All of these are proven tricks mechanics quietly do on their own cars, but rarely tell customers, because most people would ignore the advice anyway. Now you know, and that knowledge could save you thousands. Now I want to hear from you. Have you hit 100,000 miles yet? If yes, which of these tricks did your mechanic recommend or skip? Did it cost you big later? Share your experience in the comments so other drivers can learn from it.